Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Trials of Mana is an action role-playing game developed by Square Enix and Zine and published by Square Enix. It released on April 24, 2020 for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. In the age of remakes, reboots, rewrites, and remasters, just how well does this part of the Mana franchise fare in modern times? Long ago, the Mana Goddess created the world by forging the Sword of Mana and using it to defeat the 8 Benevodons, a group of immensely powerful and destructive elemental monsters. After a long and arduous battle, the goddess sealed the Benevodons into 8 Mana Stones and transformed herself into the Mana Tree to rest. Ages pass, and the Mana Tree begins to wither, causing evil forces to seek the release of the Benevodons. In response to the Mana Tree's condition, fairies guarding the tree spring to action to choose someone worthy of wielding the Mana Sword to restore balance to the world. Only one fairy survives this journey and successfully makes contact with one of the 6 heroes affected by events indirectly linked to the tree's withering. Angela, Princess of Altena who escaped her country to avoid being sacrificed. Duran, a Valsanian soldier seeking strength and revenge against the Crimson Wizard of Altena for an unprovoked attack against his kingdom. Kevin, a Ferolian half-blood prince wanting to exact revenge against the mysterious Gormand for tricking him into killing his best friend Carl. Charlotte, a half-elf on a journey to save her friend Heath after he goes missing. Hawkeye, a Navarran thief framed for the murder of his best friend Eagle by the witch Isabella, who has all of Navarre under her spell, including his childhood friend Jessica, who is being held hostage. And Reese, Princess of Laurent and captain of its Amazonian Guard, who after losing her father to a Navarran invasion, searches for her brother Elliot, who was kidnapped during the attack. The story plays out rather linear, much like JRPGs of the 90s do, and there are a couple of points where the plot progression hasn't aged well, but this narrative has not lost one bit of its charm through the years. Choosing your main character will decide which story you will follow, and you have the option to play through the backstories of your companions as you meet them in your quest. Replayability is a big point here, as you are given 6 different perspectives of the story arc. The perspective differs depending on your main character and companion setup, and some characters will have some insight that others won't, giving a welcome touch of variety. Trials of Mana is unique from most games of its time, as you choose a party of 3 out of 6 playable characters, each varying in skills and strengths. Your characters level up much differently this time around. While they have some hardwired stat progression unique to them, some further customization is available. Training points are given with each new level gained to be spent on each of the 5 stats: strength, stamina, intelligence, spirit, and luck. Passing a point threshold will earn you stat boosts to the specified stat, equipable abilities locked to the character, or chain abilities, which can be shared amongst the party. Special chain abilities can also be earned through interactions with NPCs throughout the world, so go out and explore. If that wasn't enough customization, gain enough levels and you'll be able to change classes. Each character can go through a class change at certain points of the game, provided you meet the requirements. You can choose the light or dark path, each with its own perks, quirks, checks, and balances, and adding a new layer of depth to your character. Much like in the beginning, choosing the right mix of class changes for your party is a game within a game. The combat system in Trials has been revamped and greatly modernized from its 1995 counterpart. Combinations of light and heavy attacks are available to keep the pressure on your enemies, with successful heavy attacks giving you CS particles to store for your class strikes, attacks specific to each character to seriously bring the pain. As your characters progress and change classes, new class strikes will become available at the cost of more of the CS gauge. The strategies of your second and third characters can be adjusted to fit your needs, and the game does this exceptionally well. You can choose the type of target they'll go after, what type of approach they'll use, and even how they'll expend MP, CS gauge, and items. Employing a sound strategy here will take you very far. Overall, The combat system is one of the most enjoyable I've experienced in modern RPGs, keeping the grind fun and exciting. However, veterans of the genre may consider opting for a higher difficulty, especially for those who played the original version. The camera is one point where I had a significant issue. It was all good and well while navigating through the world, but in combat, there were times where I was too close to a wall and couldn't get a good view of what I was doing. This can be somewhat mitigated by choosing to zoom the camera out, but it doesn't fix it completely. Also worthy of note, the lack of auto-locking to the next enemy once I dispatched the first made me eventually not use the function anymore. It may be a difficult task to recreate a 16-bit world in 3D without appearing too cheesy or poorly made, but these guys made it look easy. The world in Trials of Mana is a faithful recreation of the Super Famicom original, filled with vibrant colors and an art style that feels true to the roots and atmosphere of the game. While not visually stunning when it comes to pushing the graphical boundaries like other recent remakes, the direction is more in tune with other games in the Mana franchise. Some texture poppings will occur in the far background, and it may be an issue to some, but nothing to take you away from the experience. The character models are superb, and even NPCs look great though they are reused. Gone are the palette swaps when you change classes in exchange for totally new models. I've always been a fan of visibly different weapons in JRPGs, and the developers delivered. All of this is brought to you at a smooth and constant frame rate, and no noticeable dips were observed even in the thick of combat. The already excellent musical soundtrack and sound effects are recreated to near perfection. The devs even saw fit to include the original 16-bit soundtrack as fan service, which, having played the original, was a total delight. The direction of the voice work is where it unravels a bit. The voices are a mixed bag, from the great voice work of Hawkeye and Angela to the downright awful Charlotte.
I heard what you were talking to Grandpa about. You are no simple adventurer.
In an homage to the past, more and more gems are being remade, but with remakes being all the rage in current times, there is uncertainty regarding whether a game is going to be done right in the eyes of gamers who have played the source material. In some cases, most notably with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, that uncertainty is substantiated. Not in this case. Square Enix took an already great game and made it even better with Trials of Mana in just about every aspect. The quality of life changes were remarkable, and with enough replay value to sink in 60+ hours of play, adding post-game content and New Game Plus seems like welcomed overkill. This is the love letter that longtime fans have been waiting for, and it's finally here.
This can't be the end of it all! I'm too beautiful to die!
I give Trials of Mana an A. From all of us here at Rotten Apple Gaming, thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell to stay updated on our future videos.